Hey guys, it's Amy White with Daily Successful Living. Today we're going to go over how I do my SEO research. First off, there is so much with SEO research that literally this is just a drop in the bucket, but it will help you get started. So the first thing you need to do is there's 3 free tools that you can use with the free Google Chrome extensions that I highly recommend adding to your website. The first one is the MOZ extension. You can do that by going into MOZ.com and opening up an account with them and then use their extension. There's another one called Keywords Everywhere extension, which is awesome. You have to just follow the directions to get an API key. It's actually really super duper simple once you start doing it. And then the last one, and yes, this is actually the name of the extension, it's called Extract People Also Search Phrases in Google. I know it sounds like a crazy title, but that's what it's called. But anyway, to get started, you need to make sure you have these 3 extensions downloaded. And then from there, we actually can start looking at stuff. I already have Google open and I wanted to just start with something simple, which is actually probably a little more complicated because simple sometimes is worse. So I figured we could do a little bit of SEO research on how to just do some basic like a decluttering checklist. So the first thing I do is I go to my Chrome extension, make sure that my MOZ is turned on so that I can actually see the domain authority of each of the websites, so you can see it shows it right there. So that's super duper important. And then this is my extract extension tool, and then this is my keywords everywhere related tool. It also shows up over here. So just kind of so you know what you're looking for is every time you do a keyword search, you always want to look right here. This is showing you the volume of that search term. That's a monthly volume. This is the cost per click, meaning what an advertiser would pay for that particular term, and then this is how they're rating the competition. To be perfectly honest, all these numbers are subjective. Like you have to just kind of get in and start digging with it to be able to really tell. Because, I mean, first off, if you search SEMrush, Uber Suggests, or any of the other ones, they may come up with a completely different volume for their keywords. So you kind of just have to guess at things and hope you're guessing right, to be honest. And then this one, like I said, this is the extract one, and it just goes through and shows you potentially other terms that people have searched for when they've been searching for that same term. And then also the keywords everywhere does similar stuff. So I just like using both of them to kind of get different terms. And then this is also part of the extract stuff. So it's showing you other things that are popping up that are related to that. So at this point, I'm going to look at this and say, okay, decluttering checklist. There's a volume of 480 people searching it per month. There's a cost per click. And sorry, let me show you one thing. I also go through, and I've got double screen, so I'm going to pop this kind of in and out because it's easier for me to type. But I go through and just do a quick Google, well, you can use a Google Doc, whatever, but just a spreadsheet. And I typed in the search term, keyword everywhere volume, cost per click, competition. I also go through and do the domain ranking for each of the terms, and I'm looking for anything that is equivalent to my website. So for example, my Daily Successful Living website, can't even say my own name, has a domain authority of 34. So I'm looking for terms that I can, or excuse me, rankings that I can potentially beat. So I'll look for anything under 40 for that particular website. And if I've got stuff under 40, then I know if I've got a real well-written content piece, then there's a chance I can rank for that term. And then the other thing I look at is Pinterest volume and YouTube volume. And I'll go into those in just a sec, but I wanted to kind of cover what I do on here. So here's what I do. I come in, search for a term. This looks like a reasonable term. It would be hard to rank for, but it's a reasonable term. The next thing I do is I do a ton of stuff on Pinterest. So I like to search Pinterest. Now you can go through and do this code right here, site, sites, space, Pinterest, and then you put your terms in parentheses. And what that does is it searches Pinterest specific to that particular search term. So that means that people have used declutter checklist as a search term, or excuse me, as a keyword term on their Pinterest graphics 36,000 times. So this is going to be a really hard term to rank for within Pinterest. And then I also do the same thing with YouTube. I haven't gotten into YouTube yet, but I think I will eventually, so I want to at least have this research already done. And as you can see, YouTube had 50,000 keyword searches for this particular term. So this is not going to be an easy one to go through and rank for. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, declutter your home checklist. That looks like it could be a good term. So I come back to my main screen and I do declutter your home checklist, and let's just kind of take a look at that. So declutter your home checklist. It has 163 volume per month. It's got actually a higher cost per click. The competition is higher on it. So this may or may not be a decent search term. Let's just kind of look at the domain ranking. 44, 57, 29, 64, 59. That's actually not horrible. 16, I mean, that means that there's some room to be able to go through and do some stuff with this. So then I'm just going to copy this and let's just take it over here to Pinterest and see if people are using, again, this is the exact phrase on their keyword description. And let's see if people are using that. Okay, so this one, there's only 409 results for that. So that means that you have a much better chance of being able to have people look at this. Now, again, there's not as high a volume, but that still means that people are searching for it. And sometimes you're better off starting with these lower volume terms and being able to get yourself in that way. And there's only 121 results on YouTube. So if I were a YouTube blogger, that's definitely something I would be looking at. So let's also check declutter house tips, because I think that's a pretty general term too. Declutter house tips. So in that particular one, we've got a volume of 170 hits per month. There's a ton of videos popping up, so you can tell this is going to be a popular one in YouTube. 91, 65, 94, 61. Okay, this is going to be rough. You would have to have like almost a perfect blog post to be able to rank on that one. So I'm not even going to worry about checking it. Declutter tips for hoarders, probably not something I want to do. Maybe how to declutter your home and your life. Oops. I don't want to copy and paste that very well. So let's kind of just check that one. Let's see, that one has a search volume. Oh, that's a good search volume, 590 per month. 77, 87, 65, 60, 51, 83. This one has a little bit more potential. I think that's probably still going to be a pretty tough one to do. Here, let's try this one. Declutter your life in 1 week. Kind of curious what that one does. All right, 140 search volume. Ooh, now this would be a really potentially a good one. Now, why is my other, let's just hit, oh, there it is. 13, 75, 51, 27. Okay, this could be a really good search term. And this would be one that would make a really great challenge. And you could create some graphics to go with it and probably some templates and stuff like that. Like this could be a really good one. So let's go through, oh, I already have that highlighted. And just see what the Pinterest volume is on this. Okay, so there's 4 results in Pinterest for that specific search term. And okay, it's super popular in YouTube. So you'd have a hard time in YouTube on that one, but you have a lot of potential for SEO traffic and you also have a lot of potential for Pinterest traffic. So that would be a really good term to get started with. And then you kind of go from there. And I'll do another video on how to go through and optimize your post so that you can actually optimize the SEO within the post itself. So just kind of as a final reminder, what I do and what I would do in the future is I would go through and put down all these terms and completely fill this out. So I'd probably have about 10 different phrases, and then I would use those different search terms, those keywords, as the basics for my article. So anyway, I hope that helps you get started. Let me know if you have any questions.